Hello and welcome to the far distant future of 324 AG, or Aftermath of the Gap. Join our intrepid crew of heroes, mixed of mercenaries, scholars, and mystics, as they travel through the stars on their journey. This is Tavern Watch Plays Starfinder.
Okay, so Taziel's at the same end as Jarl. Tick is towards the fuselage middle, but is far away from it. You said, how far can you be?
120 feet.
120 feet. So you're out to the side, away from it as far as you can get, and still target it. And Vakish, who has 60 feet, is towards the front end, so he'll have to run to the north. It goes off. I'm going to say at this point we should do some initiative. I believe that's based on just an initiative score. Joe, how does it work again? Because
it's a relevant. You basically roll a relevant skill, whatever you think is applicable for what you're trying to do. Generally, it tends to be perception, and you generally just roll that, and it uses your skill for it.
I'm going to say that for everybody but Taziel, perception would be the way to go for initiative. But Taziel doesn't need to be able to perceive as much as they need to be able to react. So I'm going to say for Taziel, either the highest of reflex or will. Okay, so go ahead and make your rolls.
25.
20.
9.
Taziel, you have
17.
To roll. 17. As you initiate, you click the thing, you start the cycling command. You immediately notice there's a problem in that Tick-Tick's target goes into cycle like a second later than the other two. So it's drawing power at a different speed. And you don't know why that is, but you're going to have to watch it. So you might have to let the other two stand there holding. But now everyone's initiatives are set. So I believe the top initiative is who? Who got the highest one?
I got a 25.
That would be Joe.
Okay. On your initiative, the thing tells Taziel that it's at 40%.
So I just hold the action, right?
You just hold the action. You don't fire until it gets to 100%. At the next one up on the initiative, which I believe is Vakish, am I correct?
Yes.
Vakish, that's when you go, Taziel says 45%.
And so, holding that action.
Next person up is Taziel, who's counting and says, okay, 50% for everybody except for Tick, who's at 30%. And then in Tick's go, the ground beneath her feet begins to crack open, and a hand is pushing out. Also, she's at 35%. And then that hand tries to attack Tick. Will a 25 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. You are grappled. The hand has grabbed your leg and is now trying to pull you down into the...
Tick just starts shrieking, "They got me! They got me!"
The rest of you don't see anything else happening around you, but you do all see the thing grabbing Tick's leg. If it is an illusion, you all see it. And then we go around to Jarl. You are now at 50%.
Got to continue to hold the action. There's really nothing else I can do.
Okay. Vakish, you are at 55%.
Yeah, holding that action, though I really want to go help.
Taziel, it is now your round. It occurs to you that you are not holding an action for anything.
And how far is Tick? How far away am I?
Tick would be in her maximum range for her ranged attack.
120.
Gosh, that's way out of my range.
Okay. Does that mean you just can't do it, or do you get a penalty?
I can't do it. I can shoot at 30 feet.
Okay.
And she's going to be like
4 times
at least 120. Yeah. I would have to leave to do it. I can't.
Yeah, I understand.
I am very conflicted.
So do you do anything in your round, or maybe draw a weapon of any kind? Do you not have any guns? What are you doing? Okay. So you are sitting pat, keeping your eye on the gauge, so to speak.
I will summon my solar weapon, which is a Skittermander-sized polearm made of celestial energy, but I can't do anything unless I run and run back, and then I'm gonna have to start this up again, and I'm kind of panicking, but I've got a weapon in my hand now.
All right. top of the now it's down to Tick Tick. You're being grappled, and the thing is trying to pull you into the ground, but you go for it. Does. What are you going to do? Also, you're at 45%.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to break the grapple. What are my options in this edition?
I mean, you can make an attack on the hand trying to grab you. You can attempt to just yank yourself out. That would be contested. You would make I believe it would be a strength check, and then I against you. But you can try to just burn the hand off, or shoot something. You can do lots of options. You don't have to try to break it. If you don't break it, then it is going to get to try and do something you next round because it's got your leg hold.
Okay, let's try. Oh, where'd it go? Skyfire wings.
Okay, what does that do? The people at home probably want to know, and so do I, quite frankly.
All right. Wings of plasma grow from your body that propel you to soar high above your enemies or scorch them for getting too close. You gain a fly speed, and your primary arms turn into wings that can't hold items or wield weapons.
Okay, you weren't
Let's
currently
see.
doing that with those arms, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're going to drop the weapon, I assume.
I'll have to do it with a different set of arms.
Well, I mean, you can't change it.
Yeah.
It's your primary
trying
arms
to-
that turn into the wings. You could always drop the gun to your other arms.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just reach up with your other
I
arms.
thought that I
grab
bought the
gun.
feat that would let me swap immediately, but I'm not seeing it in the features, so must not have. Okay, so yeah, I'll have to drop it to my other arms and make an unarmed attack.
So you're not. You did cast the spell, or you didn't?
Yeah, I'm casting the spell.
Okay, so you make an unarmed attack with the flaming wings.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I can figure out where they have the unarmed attack.
Well, your character's strength bonus, right?
Yeah.
Do
Plus
you use
one.
strength? Okay, do you use strength bonus for unarmed, or you? Yeah, so you would roll. You would roll that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a 4.
So you rolled one.
Yeah,
of
I rolled a 1 or a 3
Okay.
rather.
You rolled a 3. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't hit with the wings, but the thing is still the thing can burn things that are close to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much damage does it do for people who are just basically in your business?
Okay. I think it was 1d8, but
We're just going to accept that.
yeah, 1d8.
Okay, go ahead. Roll that d8.
Roll it. 7.
7? Oh, I was just about to tell you want to get above a 4. You burn the hand clean off.
Okay.
So now you are. However, there is still a crack in the ground underneath your feet, and you hear and see other things scrambling, trying to get through it. So what do you do now? Because you've done 2 actions right now.
Yeah. The first thing I'm going to do is use my fly speed
Okay.
to get above the ground.
All right. How high are you going?
Let's see.
If you go above 60 feet, you will not be able to target the underbelly of the ship to shoot. the first.
25. I will
Okay.
go 25 feet up.
All right, and that's your third action.
Yep.
All right. So you're now no longer grappled, and you are 35 feet in the air and about 120 feet away from the crystal, targeting it to shoot it. You're going to be shooting it with a weapon or with your powers?
It's a weapon.
Okay. So you did. Okay. That's all right. We go back around to Jarl. You need to make me a will save, or it's will, right? Yeah, it's will. I'm going to say wisdom.
Yeah, that's will. 33. That's a natural 20.
You're okay. Yeah, you feel something trying to happen, but it doesn't. You are at 75% charge.
Getting close, getting close.
Cut to Vakesh. I need a will save from you.
24.
You actually save. You're pretty proud of yourself. You felt it try to grab into your head, and you're like, not today. I've got to shoot something, and that is more important. Now cut over to Taziel, and I need a will save.
21.
All right. Yeah, you make it. For you, it's the closest. This thing burrows in hard on you, but you manage to shake it off. You're like, no, unclean things, whatever you are. I don't even like your unclean thoughts. So you are safe. It is now 95% on both Vakish and Jarl's and 85% on Tick Tick.
Okay.
Top of the order is Jarl. You're actually, yeah, you nothing tries to take over your mind, and you don't see anything trying to attack you yet. You're now, you get 100% on yours.
It
85% on Tick Ticks.
I have to wait for everything to be 100, right?
Yep. if you and Vakish shoot and yours are both at 100, but hers isn't, you might cause an explosion, but it won't be big enough to destroy the ship.
Then I wait.
Okay. Vakish, you are now at 100%.
Yep, but I still got a hold.
Yep. Taziel, you're counting them, and
Can I do anything to force overload the third engine any faster? Can I redirect power? Can I...
that's actually interesting. Roll. I'm going to say for this, you use piloting for ship systems, right?
Yeah, I have piloting. I have computers.
I'm going to say go ahead and try and roll whichever one of those you think is your better shot. And then I'll tell you, depending on how well you do, I'll tell you.
I rolled a natural 1.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a 14, but yeah.
No, natural 1 is a critical failure, so.
I'm going to throw away all of these dice. They're
Okay.
going in the garbage.
I'm going to say that you think you have an idea. You think that if you cross-check the power draw for the other two into the power draw on the third one, they'll all equalize.
Yeah, that sounds like I can do this. I can do this. I can definitely do this.
And both, Tick-Ticks goes up to 90, and both the other two drop to 90.
Me?
So you
Yeah,
did.
that's definitely good.
You did successfully equalize them.
Definitely, I have complete confidence in myself. Totally.
Okay. I need reflex saving throws from everybody. Except, no, Tick-Tick does not have to make this roll, because Tick-Tick is
Bit far
25
away.
feet in the air.
19.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
29.
Okay.
My first good roll of the day.
Vakish, a
Yes.
tentacle made out of vine and like animal flesh comes bursting out of the ground and wraps itself around you 3 times. What's your armor class?
22.
Okay, it does not get you with the viscous acid attack, but it is grappling. The other, everybody else is either flying or just didn't get grabbed by it. The tentacle came up and you jumped out of the way. It's kind of like equal parts vine and tentacle. It's really gross. That happens, and now we are around to Jarl's round. 85%.
Yeah, it's
No.
going
Oh,
down.
no.
Awesome.
Oh.
Vakish, 100%.
Oh no.
Well, I can't take that shot, but I do need to try and free myself.
Yep. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but yeah, it would probably be a good idea. By all means, let it grapple you.
What is that?
I mean, you can make a melee attack against it. You can just try to make an opposed grapple check to get out of its grip. There's various things you could do.
I'll make a melee against it. It's a 24.
Okay, that hits. What are you attacking it with?
My claws.
All right, roll the damage of your claws.
Be a 6.
Okay, a 6 will sever it. You do, however, your armor class is what?
22.
Yeah, you get 6 points of acid damage as you burst this thing in, against you. I assume 6 points isn't that big a deal to you.
No, I have 80 HP.
So you're free, but you are covered in really foul-smelling, burny gunk. And yours is at 100%. We go to Taziel. You're now seeing Vex is at 100%. Jarl's has dropped to 80%. And
No.
the one that you were originally trying to bump up, Tick-Ticks, is stuck at 90%. It's not going up or down.
Oh no. I can't try that again, and it ended so poorly last time. Wow, I don't know what I can do. And I'm not near any of the engines either.
The engines are inside the ship.
I'm not near any of the other guns.
However, I will tell you guys that hero points are a thing in Starfinder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I forgot. Oh boy. Can I try this again to...
Okay. If you spend a hero point, you get a +8 luck bonus to any 1d20 roll. So if you're doing this again and you spend a hero point, which I'm telling you guys because none of us know the system very well, so I feel like you can get hints. If you spend your hero points, each of you currently have 5 because you're level 5. You will get a +8 luck bonus to any 1d20 roll.
I'm gonna try this again. I rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, I mean, you don't need the luck bonus then, so sorry. but
I'm
If
happy.
you use a hero point, I will let you say you didn't if you want to say you didn't, because you didn't really know the system.
I'll use it. I know I need to win this one. So yes.
Okay, so natural 20. What's the actual score of that roll?
I'm doing. That would be. I'm doing piloting for this. That would be 33.
Plus 8.
33 plus 8. Yes.
So 41. Okay.
Yes.
You managed to rebalance the weapons so they're all at all weapons are at 95% now.
Okay.
You're positive they're going up.
Just one more round. One more round.
Okay. Cut to Tick Tick. Yours is at 100%.
All right. Have we been given the signal?
You have not.
And I'm waiting, just hovering up here.
Actually, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. Technically speaking, Vakish couldn't hold his attack, but he still has 2. He could hold one of the 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Then you're all told you're at 100% now, and 2 of you have been holding. So
Fire.
Let's do it.
Let me roll my thingy. Where's my button?
you do need to hit it. If you miss the roll, then you'll need to attack it again if you have actions stored up.
24 to hit.
Okay, yeah, you hit. It doesn't really matter how much damage you do. It just needs to be done.
21 to hit.
Ooh, just barely. Okay, it's all on you now, Tick Tick.
Pressure.
We have a 29.
Okay, Tazel, you're since you're still plugged in at this point, you get the immediate warning beep as the diagnostic is telling you, oh, there's a feedback happening in all 3 weapons chambers. That's so unlikely and really bad.
This is great. I did it. We did it. Oh my gosh. And I take a second to, cheer this out. And then oh, and I yank out the data cord and run 35 feet around.
Okay. And you get 3 moves.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can get 35, 35, 35. So 35 and 35 is 70, 105 feet away from it in that round. The rest of you can only move your movements because Vec can only move once because he's used 2 actions.
I can only move. I can only move once because my ability costs 2 actions.
Okay, so you get to move 25 feet away from it.
Yep.
25 feet away from it. 20 feet. No, for Vec it's 20 feet, right?
Yes, sir. 20 feet.
And Tick Tick is flying and already 120 feet away from it. Keep in mind, you're
probably going to look for some cover.
All right, so you head off to find cover, but how far can you move with 2 actions while flying?
50.
So 50 once. Each action is 50 feet, so you move 100 feet away immediately.
No, 50 total. Sorry.
Okay, so you were already 120 feet away, and now you're an extra 50 away. And then roll a die. Ship hasn't exploded yet. Good. You're trying to get 150 feet away from it to be completely safe. That is the minimum safe distance, as was pointed out by Tick Tick earlier. So this round, only Tick Tick is safe. No, actually, no. Only Tick Tick is safe this round.
Yeah, I'm only 55 feet away.
Okay, cut to Jarl. You're up. What are you doing?
Move. So I'm going to move another
3 is 75.
Yep. So 75 plus 55.
You are now in. It's your safe distance.
Okay.
Because it's 150 feet, already 25 feet away. So you. No, you're right. You're
I'm almost there. I was. It's 75 plus 55.
Yeah. So you're 100 feet away.
No, I'm more than 100 feet away.
Okay, 75 plus 55.
I'm 130 feet away. I need one more move.
Okay. So yeah. Next up is Vakish.
Running, but I can only get 60, so that puts me at 80 feet.
So Vakish is still well within the unsafe minimum distance. Now for Tazel.
Running.
And you go how far?
35 rounds, so 105.
So you went 105 last round?
Yes.
Okay, you're clear. Let's roll that die. Okay, you're all still alive. Jarl.
Mm-hmm.
How far can you move in one round?
25 feet per one action.
Okay, and that will take you to safe distance?
One move will take me to safe distance.
All right. Are you using just that move, or are you using more than one to get further away?
I'm going to use more than one.
All right. So how far do you go?
I'll go another full-out move. So
all right. So that's 75?
Another 75 feet, yeah.
So yeah, Jarl is 50 feet outside into safe distance. Next up, Vakish.
Still running. That would put me at 140.
Ooh. I believe that both Tick Tick and Tazel are already at safe distance.
Yeah, should be.
Okay. Do you continue to run away, or do you just stand and wait?
I'm going to find cover.
I'm going to try and get to. I'm assuming that Uriel was closer to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna
Actually,
try
Jarl
and
is further
loop
away
around
from
to
you
one
than-
of my allies.
Okay. The closest one would actually be Tick Tick because Jarl went the complete different direction.
Okay, I'll try to group up with one of my allies while staying out of range.
Okay. You find Tick Tick with minimal effort because both of you are Skittermanders, so you're both very excited about this. Skitter, she's in cover, so you know that's the first thing she tells you.
Yeah, I'll duck down with her.
And
Hey,
then,
hey.
Hi. By the way, I think we landed on a graveyard.
ooh,
She's just kind of wide-eyed and kind of looking around and like,
there's a shuddering sound as you're having that conversation, as the ship's core gets hit with 3 feedbacks at the same time and blows the F up. Vakish, if you want to go with fortitude, you can, or reflex, whatever you think is a better one to roll on. But give me a saving throw.
Fortitude, and it's a 25.
Okay. Unfortunately, the difficulty was 30.
It is what it is.
Ooh, oh, okay. Well, you're close. You were far enough out that you only take 40-10 damage. That was a 10,
sounds fine.
a 7, a 7, and a 2. So 17, 24, 26 total damage as the ship explodes and you get hit by the shockwave. And then actually you get the heat wave first because it goes at the speed of light. And then after your back gets burned, you get hit by the shockwave. 26 total damage. If you have resistance to either heat or kinetic force, you can apply it to some of that damage.
Don't believe I do.
Okay, well then you get set on fire and then pushed away by the shockwave, and you are now 300 feet away from the ship.
And you know the funny thing is, after the ringing of everybody's ears of the explosion clears, you can just hear Vikesh just laughing.
You were mostly naked anyway, right?
Yeah. His armor is his scales.
So yeah, you're just smoldering in the dirt, in like a mound of dirt, going, "Oh, you do that again? Let's get another ship." But yeah, that's over for now. You have blown up the only means you had of escape from this planet, and created a really massive crater. And Tick Tick, you were right. There were dead bodies. This was some kind of graveyard or something. Now it's like there's like a hand over there that's mostly bone with some flesh at the very end, sort of thing. Not a lot left. You've completely wiped out it's like a impact crater from an ancient asteroid slammed into this place from about 200 feet in every direction from the center. So it is in fact in the dirt pushed out by that explosion that Vikesh ended up like prone in. He pulls himself out and he's like standing there, like still somewhat on fire, not like really on fire, but there's some flames.
We're gonna fix that a little, I think.
I'm gonna run to him and say, "Stop, drop, and roll! Stop, drop, and roll!"
You have a tiny Skittermander insistently telling you to do that.
I'm going to reach up and I'm going to place a hand on your scales and heal you for 23 points of damage.
Woo!
You feel much better.
I do, actually.
Yeah, because you took 27, so yeah, I figured.
Thank you.
I can fix it.
You.
I can fix it. He's gonna pull out the
He's fixed.
med patch.
Well, he actually took 6 points of acid damage before as well, so he's still down like 10.
Oh, okay. Proceed.
Yeah, Tick Tick will pull out a med patch. It's 1d6.
I imagine these look
There you go.
exactly like Band-Aids.
I think
Like
they
a
look.
little-
Probably.
I think that you drank
Big ol'
them.
Band-Aids.
He's chewing on it
Maybe
with
that's why it only
bubblegum.
does 1d6.
A healing poultice.
Okay,
Nom.
that's 3.
Okay, so you get another 3. So that actually heals you up entirely from the explosion. Now you just have the acid burns left,
Yeah.
which are those are practically nothing.
Yeah, I'm at 74 out of 80 health, so
But yeah, the ship is well and truly blown the heck up. Like there's very little left of it. The explosion was so devastating that it created this rather huge crater, pushed a lot of dirt. Had you been closer, the explosion would likely have atomized you.
But I was far enough away.
You were far enough away to survive the damage at that point.
While we're taking stock of ourselves, I am also going to use one of my other mystic cantrip dealies, which is scan environment.
Okay.
I analyzed the natural environment in an area within 20 miles, learning general information about the atmosphere, biomes, and gravity. The amount of information revealed depends on how long you concentrate on the area. So how long are we sitting before we move? I look at everybody.
Basically, imagine that he just
long.
explained that he needs to know how long he can sit there and meditate to figure out stuff like that.
I don't think we have
think
long.
I think we should at least get some distance away. I know. It's this way. Maybe we could walk a little and then.
We should probably make camp.
Yeah, let's travel then a little bit away towards the general direction of where you saw the temple, and then make camp, and then I'll focus up and see if I can get us some more information.
Okay, we are now going to switch into the narrative part and no longer the combat track. So you guys make about what you think is a 10-kilometer trip, which is really good. I mean, 10 kilometers at one time is not bad. You then break. You don't seem to be being followed by anything. If it is, it's successfully doing so in a way you haven't noticed. Once you start making camp, everybody, Vec decides to do the heavy stuff because, he has a gigantic Vosk and he doesn't want to look like he's cooking. Although, for all I know, Vec is really good. Vakesh is a very good cook, but doesn't want you guys to know. Tik and Tazel are both really well suited to doing the initial setup of the camp, how big it will be, where the various tent type things will be, which leaves Yaril to be meditating. How long is the maximum amount of information for this? Like, what are you aiming for how long you can sit there meditating?
So there are 3 different tiers of it. The time is ethereal, so it's whatever you decide it is. So the first layer is I get to forecast the weather for the next hour, including the direction it will come from. The second layer of it is I can learn which atmospheres, biomes, and gravity are in the area, as well as the direction and distance of those elements. So if there's particularly strong gravity wells or anything like that, I can sort of like pick up on those. And then the last one is I learn if anything in the area presents an environmental hazard, which includes cold, heat, dangers, at what temperature range, etc., radiation and what severity, smoke effects, underwater conditions, and this is enough to detect large effects that span spaces over 30 feet in diameter only. But I also gain a general sense of how far away these dangers are, and again, this is anything within 20 miles.
Okay. I'm going to give you the first one for free. Just assume that you start meditating and you immediately learn this. It's the weather is what you get for that one?
Yep.
Well, you're looking around you can see that it's clear and just the sun is now down, but the other sun is up, so it's dim. The other sun's much smaller. In fact, it looks like a really bright star in the sky. It doesn't look like a sun. It's extremely far away. But it's brighter than it would be like a nighttime on Earth if the moon was out and Venus was at full brightness.
Okay.
So it's a bright night around. There's going to be a massive storm in like 10 seconds.
All right. Well, I let everybody know.
Okay. As you're finishing telling them that, the massive storm blows in. It lasts for 35 seconds, and then it is gone.
Okay.
It is like a dust storm, but it's not blowing dust. It's blowing water. And it is water.
Huh.
After about a minute of meditating, you get the next level, which is that the biomes here are extremely odd. They are affected. You realize they're not, that storm wasn't a freak storm. It just seemed like a freak storm to you because time here is affected by gravitational lensing.
Ooh, okay.
That was an hour of time, but it didn't affect you. It's affecting the upper atmosphere. So weather patterns grow, erupt, and then leave. The gravity lens above this area generating, you're absolutely sure of this, they're generated by something in the Temple City area. The gravitational lensing is 5,000 times the gravity around you. And it's about 5 miles up. It's like a gigantic mushroom cap of extremely high gravity that is increasing the speed of time in the area through lensing.
I let everybody know that.
Otherwise, normal biomes, forest. There's some geysers somewhere, like to the north of there. I mean, does it tell you exactly where they are?
I know exactly where they are if they're large enough. So if they're like...
Okay. There's one geyser big enough that you can say, okay, that thing is right on the edge of my ability to sense, and it's reasonably large, and there's probably more past it because it feels like there would be, but that's the edge of my sense. Nevertheless, that's there. The gravity lens thing is about 5 miles up, so you can, and then it goes straight to the edge of your ability to sense. So that's weird. It's also covering the whole area of this, it's well past the 20. It goes towards the Temple City, which is just on the edge of your 20-mile area. From here, if you had done this back where you were, you wouldn't have been able to sense it. But you can sense that. You can sense like there's almost a focused graviton beam. You've never heard or have seen one, but the only thing you think of is they're discharging gravitons straight out of that city.
So it's stationary.
It's more like a vortex. So it is moving, but it isn't. It doesn't.
It moves around too. Okay.
It feels like it's not moving from place to place. It's spinning, but it's spinning seemingly in place. There's one other thing though. Underground, just again near the edge of your ability to perceive, there's a sphere of the exact opposite kind of gravity. Like there's a field down there where gravitons are like way less than they should be. It's like 5,000 times gravity above, practically gravityless below.
Okay.
And you're not sure what would be causing that. And that's your second level, your third level?
That would be the final. Like I know where all that stuff is, like any dangers or anything like that.
So you know about the geysers, you know about the gravity thing, and would you know about biological stuff?
If it presents a danger, yes.
There's several thousand starving predators suspended in the gravity effect above you.
All right, then.
Oh, no, now they're dead. Okay, there's more in there now. And now they're dead again.
Mosquitoes or something. Got it.
Yeah, there's a lot of insects. They're not mosquitoes. They are insects. They enter into the gravity field, and they live their life cycles, and they die within the field. They would be a threat to you, however, because they are a biological contaminant.
Okay. So we're going to avoid that. Yeah, I let everybody know.
All right.
Fun.
What time is it right now? After an uneventful night, setting up your camp and watches and so forth, you begin the trek the rest of the distance to the temple city of, I keep wanting to say Estelle, but it's Astel. It takes you most of the day. The sun, the main sun, the one that the planet is orbiting, not the one that is orbiting the entire system way out far. It comes up, around. You have no idea when the clock on this world would tell you, but when it comes up, you guys set out and you walk the remaining 10 or so kilometers and eventually reach the location of the temple city, which does then require some mountain work. So there's a montage, and you guys climb some mountains. They're relatively small mountains, but you still have to climb. Think of the Andean foothills, that kind of situation. You finally get to the temple city, and it is big. It is, as big as most cities you guys have seen on settled worlds. It's the buildings are all these carved stone things. You first you think they're part of the mountains, but you realize as you get closer, they're more geometrically built. They're like pentagonical pyramid type structures. Like there's 5 3-sided facets coming together to make each one. They're definitely not carved mountain. They're like, these are constructed. It looks like basically somebody came here, cut a big swath out of the mountains and used the rock from the mountains to build these structures. They kind of blend in until you're like right on top of them. But once you are, there they are. There's close to 100 of these, and you're not immediately aware of which one would have anything of value or interest, including the fact that you guys are really kind of hoping to figure out how you're going to get out of here. This is not a place you want to spend the next however long it's going to take for somebody to notice that ship didn't make it. So yeah, you are basically, I'm going to start your ability to tell me what you guys want to do at the main gate to the city, which is, there's no gate anymore. The structure is there, but there's no doors. However, there are these interesting curved things that make up the lintel of the massive gate stone structure. If any of you know what a Shirin is, there look to be two of them, kind of standing on the top of the lintel, naked, so they're somewhat arthropodal flesh, visible, and holding really large pole arms. The pole arms are at least as big as they are. And of the group, I think only Tazel is likely to recognize the pole arm design. Because you made one of them earlier, and it looked just like it.
Yes. So, I mean, are these living actual creatures, or are they like sculptures on this temple gate?
Because they're
okay.
Shirin are medium-sized creatures. Each of these statues is like 30 to 50 feet tall, and the gate itself is like 30 to 35 feet from the ground to the top where the lintel is, and then the statues are on top of that. So they are enormous and not entirely intact. Like a lot of them, there's broken off parts. There's wear and tear is everywhere. Which I didn't do that on purpose. I saw. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what you see at the gate. What do you guys want to do now?
So, do we know, is this like completely abandoned place, an archaeological site? Are there like actual bits of civilization still here?
You don't.
Okay.
There's been only a few studies of the area. This planet is fairly far outside the normal bounds of civilized space. It's sort of in the direction that the Vosk originally came from when they invaded the Absalom system, but it's not a place that many people have talked about or done much writing on. There was a lithograph type study done back around 27,000 years ago, but no one really has any access to what it originally said because the entire planet vanished. I can't remember the name of the planet off the top of my head, but the one that Absalom Station used to be on when it was on Galarian. When the planet Galarian vanished, that was the last time anybody had heard of this place. And then, of course, there's that period of time that no one can actually remember. But when after Galarian disappeared, but before some point before now, who knows what happened then? It's like that's an all confusing mess. But regardless, you are there at the city. As far as you know, no one lives here.
Wow.
So I'm wondering if there's if there might be other explorers who've come with who we could search for and get in contact with.
Nobody has come here and stayed here. In terms of getting in contact, you could probably like cast a sending spell and maybe reach somebody because that covers the entire plane of existence, doesn't it? But in terms of,
well, I don't have that one, so
yeah.
Nor do I.
So yeah, I think there are ways to do it, but right now. Yeah, if there's somebody here you don't know about it, and it is a planet. I mean, we're talking the city by itself is to give you guys an example. You'd actually, you as human beings will understand. Imagine if you took New York's density of buildings and put that into an area the size of London. So it's this enormously wide, broad, tall place, and there could be all sorts of stuff living in there, but you don't specifically know what any of it is. However, I don't. The thing you did earlier, you have to do, Jarl. You have to do that. Like sit down and do it.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't cost a spell slot, but it does require me to like sit and meditate.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're not doing that right now.
Not unless people are telling me to.
If we do that, we should find someplace secure first.
All right. So now you're looking for someplace secure.
Assume we all came here. I do assume we all came here looking for something, whether together or separately. I mean, we wanted to see.
Yeah, what did we think we would find here?
Okay. Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to tell me? I'm fully open for you guys coming up with something here, and I will work it into the narrative. Because keep in mind, I'm working on a playtest thing that does not have these answers for me.
I mean, if Tazella was coming here, it would have been to learn. Perhaps she thought there were ancient secrets of the Solarians, or even ancient secrets of the cosmos, of the movement of stars or planets that might have been here. That would be the kind of thing she would be interested in.
I'm going to assume you literally said that out loud. And as you were saying it, everybody else was looking around, and like above you, there's like multiple giant stellar objects. Like that's a star. That's a planet with a ring system, just carved into the buildings. Like all of them have some kind of star system on them. Yeah.
Exactly like that.
So
I think I was just hired on as a medical officer. I don't think I was here for any particular reason.
okay. So you're basically just trying to get off the planet.
Me, I want to not be here. This planet is not making me happy.
Okay. Now we have Tick and Vakesh. What are you guys here for?
Vakesh claimed this planet for Vesk.
The Vesk didn't even want it when they invaded. They kept going. They literally were like, ugh, and kept going. They didn't stay here.
It's
Possibly
for
because of all the
glory and
dead
honor.
things. All right. Well, that's what Vakesh is up to. Tick Tick.
I think Tick Tick is looking for anything related to the drift. Yeah, just basically she likes to be in drift. She wants to learn more about it.
Okay.
And so exploration and learning new stuff.
Rather than spending a lot of time, detailing every little building you go into, I'm going to say everybody who's actually looking for something, I want you guys to make a seek check using perception to see what you detect, and I'll figure out where you find it. So Jarl's not looking for anything, or is Jarl just looking for escape?
Jarl's just looking for escape.
Okay, so Jarl, go ahead and make your roll to try and find a way off. Vec, try to find, make a roll for, this will signify that we've conquered this planet. And Tazel and Tick Tick each are looking for their own personal things, so you guys should roll, just roll straight perception.
26.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
27.
I am having trouble even finding perception on here.
It's not in the skills. It's up above next to your speed.
Oh, there, that button.
So far, everybody's
22.
beaten the difficulty. 22?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Both Jarl and Tick Tick almost immediately find correlations between various, object shapes carved into various buildings. One in particular is interesting because it is a multiple rings around a central point, represented like a flat object. And these rings each has like a little point on them. Like
So
there's
like a
little
solar
point.
system.
It looks like a kind of an above. At first, you think like a solar system. Another thing occurs to you though, like an atom, because they could be the electron charges, and their central core could be the neutrons and protons. It's one of those situations where it could be either or could be both. But regardless, they lead you further into the city, where Vecnalash. I'm sorry, not Vecnalash. Vec. I'm going to say Vec. Vec finds a really big old Vosk sword.
Mhm.
Like this thing is 9 feet from tip to tip. It is still just a great sword, but it is an enormous great sword. This was held by a Vosk king, specifically the dead Vosk king that you are pulling it out of their grip.
Heck yeah.
And his skeletal limbs, like he's basically just sitting there on the ground, kind of just like there's all these little marks around it. And after a little bit, I'm not sure how much you know about that kind of thing. You don't have any specific like animal knowledge type thing, do you? Or okay. You don't know what he was fighting, but he was definitely fighting something because there's marks from this sword all around the ground around him. You think even when his legs got eaten off, he was still fighting.
Died like true warrior.
So you have, go ahead and write, Vest Greatsword. We'll figure out the stats for that later.
Sure.
That's what you find. That's your trophy, so you could bring that home. And at least it would not necessarily signify that you ruled the planet or anything, but it would be like, hey, look what I found. Oh, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
As for Tazel, Tazel is it's like you're surrounded by it, and you feel like you're being weighted. Like it literally feels like someone picked you up and put you on a scale, and then put a feather on the other side and saw which was heavier. You don't know if it's appreciative or concerned or what, but he's definitely, as you go further in following the other two who are like following this trail of weird symbolic possible solar systems, possible atom steel, you feel it growing in intensity until you reach not the center of the city by any stretch of the imagination, but a nice plaza with like lots of once well-organized plants, but it's been a while and now they're all running wild and growing into each other. And then past this kind of like natural lawn thicket deal, there's another one of those pentagonal triangle city, buildings. This one has it's like a shape like a black snake on one side and a white snake on the other, and they are facing each other. And there's like a star like underneath the head of the white snake and above the head of the black snake. And anybody who can sense anything drift related, magic related, or like is the Solarian's abilities for gravity and cosmic forces, this place it's like seething. There's something here.
I don't get that negative energy sense that I got earlier with the undead.
You do get that sense.
I do?
But it's exactly opposed. It'd be like if you walked into a room and saw a guy holding a knife on his finger. You'd be like, that's a knife, and that's not great, but, it's on your finger, so, you're holding it balanced.
I mean, I'm going to, hop my way in if no one else is... Whether anyone else is coming with me or not, I am drawn to this strange feeling. I mean, I came here to learn, to see things.
Okay. Is everybody going with her, or are you letting her go by herself?
We probably shouldn't
Tick
split
is
up.
pretty nervous, but she's not about to turn away.
Yeah, I don't think splitting the party is good at this point, so...
All right. All right, I'll do that then, so you guys haven't... Okay, as you walk in, you do notice a lot more bodies. There are a lot of dead Voskir. Just a lot of them. All of them bear the same kind of wounds. What's interesting is they feel... I don't know how to put this. Tizel can feel infinity on them. The touch of the solar wind, the breath of a collapsing star, the gravity of a gas giant, and also the strange matter, dark matter, the opposition of the two forces. It feels like it's settled upon these bodies. It wasn't generated by them so much as it accompanied them. And as you go in further, the plaza opens up. There's something in the center of the area that is covered in plants. You can't see it through the plants, but there's something like some kind of ornamental statue or something right there. And then past that, about 300 feet, there's the entrance into the gigantic 5-sided pyramid thing.
We uncover the statue and see what it is?
If you have a way to clear, if you have a way to clear all the plants off of it.
Could I burn it? Would that be a terrible idea?
I mean, you can certainly try.
Go up to the statue and cast a photon-attuned solar shot, which is solar energy, but it's just fire damage.
Okay. I'm going to say it's going to take you 3 or 4 rounds of firing this thing to burn away all this plant matter.
Okay.
Once you do, however, what you've got is an enormous, strange reptile-looking thing. It's made out of what appears to be obsidian, or perhaps...
Like a Vask?
No. It's got 4 legs. They appear almost cat-like in their proportions, and these 2 enormous wings coming off of its back. You guys all see it.
I mean, I assume I have no recognition of this from...
I mean, you can make a check if you have any skill you think might be useful here.
All I have is drift lore is kind of the thing it came
drift
from.
Lore.
If this is something that might come from the drift.
Drift lore tells you that this place is a perfect natural resonating bowl. Like, the way this place is shaped, and if you look around at the loci, you could very easily form a hole into the drift, into the drift plane right here. Specifically, if the giant reptilian winged statue thing would stop shedding big chunks of rock as it began to move,
oh no,
you could do it right there, and you could probably roll initiative because it's gonna. I'm gonna die for this time. I'm gonna actually keep asking. He can be taught. All right. Yeah.
23.
27.
Hold on. It is anybody between 30 and 25. So that's 2 of you.
Yeah.
So, Vesk, you're at what were you at? 27?
23.
Okay, so then it's going to be Tick first.
Tick is 27.
Anybody between 20 and 15?
I'm at 17.
16.
Okay, so next up is Jarl. Okay, first up is the giant statue, which is twitching and shaking and smashing concrete side, huge blocks of the gray-black stone off of itself, which underneath it looks like that too. Like it's like it grew like a husk of its own skin over the course of like thousands of years and just became this thick layer around it that it is now shaking off. It fixes its eyes on you guys and opens both of it opens the two main ones that are like symmetrically on the opposite sides of the face from each other, and then like a line of them down its snout. And they're all, well, actually only one of you saw that. Yeah, well, I'll just tell you anyway. They're all that kind of weird crystalline egg eye in their appearance.
Oh.
And it looks around and is like, what is the prayer? Tic-Tic, you are up.
The prayer. Can I make some kind of roll to guess what that might be?
Yeah, I think there's like, is it just called religion in this game? Or is it like,
There's religion.
you can make a religion check to think what you're talking about. Difficulty is, I'll just tell you up front, the difficulty is 27.
I have occultism.
Yep, difficulty is still 27. You might get it with occultism.
Okay. Oh, exactly on.
Okay. There are a lot of drift cults, but you've never heard of a drift cult that had Solarians in it. So you're like thinking, what would the prayer be, drift related, or would it be Solarian related, or is it some kind of syncretic thing where the two are together? And then you remember the symbology that led you here.
Mm-hmm.
The symbols that could be solar systems or could be atoms. And you think you know what it is. I'm going to send it to you, letting you know that this is your character just guessing. You're not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you've done an action to make that check. Now you have 2 actions left.
As above, so below.
Do you
Are
say
there
that to
rings on the floor?
Yes.
She would probably mutter it under her breath at the very least.
Okay. So are you choosing not to say it out loud? You're choosing to mutter it?
Well, first, are there rings on the ground?
Yep.
That look at all. Yeah, so it seems right. So she'll go ahead and say it louder. How many rings were there?
I'm just looking that up for you. Sorry, it's hard to find.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is something that we could reproduce on the floor.
That's what it looks like.
Somehow. Oh.
And yes, any of you with even rudimentary knowledge of the atomic model would know it's your ring.
Yeah, so she'll say that aloud. She's definitely looking around to see if there's any way we could represent this symbol some way.
You say that, and he looks at you for a long moment. You are guessing, but a guess requires knowledge. You had to know to guess. He kind of sits back and shrinks, and when he's done, he kind of does look like a Vosk, but one twice the size of a normal one with wings.
Oh, you're very impressive.
Yes, I am. It is good that you know.
I'm really glad that you did not eat me.
I wouldn't have eaten you. I just would have. I mean, eating you would be rude. He or she. It's kind of hard to tell with Vosk, and this one does have very elaborate ritual clothing over certain areas. Looks around at the group of you, looks to see a Vosk, and sends her head to the side. You are no wizard.
No wizard.
How did you open the way?
Big explosions.
As good as any other way in the way. Kind of like walks around and is now looking at all of you. I don't know you. He's pointing at Jarl. I don't know your kind. How long have I been here? How long has it been since we had to close?
Oh, it must be very, 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 very long time, I think.
That many varies.
Yes, at least.
It is very, 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 very many varies. I am disquieted by this. He holds out his hand, and it looks very much akin to the polearms that you make, but it's a blade, like this gigantic sword that Vesk found, and it's made out of black instead of glowing silver or gold. It's like a dark matter version of it. Well, I suppose it's time then.
What were
the
stars like when you last saw the sky before you closed the way?
He stops. Well, Well, I mean, they were stars. I would have to see what they look like now, and it is still the largest star is still up in the sky.
Oh wait, I can do this. I can do this. I have a spell.
Okay. Like I want I'm gonna say Jarl. I want you to make a perception check here.
Okie dokie. 21.
Based on the way he was standing, he was about to stab himself in the entrails with that sword he's holding, and he's kind of surprised you're interrupting it. He's like, I was going to commit ritual suicide. Why are you still talking? Did you not come here to assume the burden?
We have
I came here to learn.
In order to properly assume the burden. You mean your entire existence will be ended. You must have come to prevent them from escaping.
Them.
Oh, that does sound important.
Yes, they slumber in the depths below. It requires the blood of a willing one to open the way so that you can go down and destroy them. Or I could kill one of you and I could go down and destroy them. Although you are smaller, I might have to kill all of you for that. So we should probably just stick with the one where I kill myself, right?
What are we?
Go ahead.
What are we killing?
Them. The things. We don't know what they are. They just horrible. They ruin everything. There's no end to them.
I described the void ticks.
Oh yes, exactly. Those things. Yes. There's so many of them here.
Oh yes, we met some out in space and on the planet.
Out in space. They've left the planet?
I guess.
All right. I need to see this without dying. Therefore, I would step back if I were you.
Okay.
I step back.
Yes, let's.
I'll take a couple of step backs.
Okay. He charges this thing up, and again, it's very similar to you when you did the blast with yours. He charges it up for a second, and then he just points it, and this fountain of like violet, ultraviolet style light. It feels like watching a black light go off, except it's burrows. He literally burns his way through the sigil, the uranium atoms shaped thing underneath his feet, and then he pops his wings out and drops down the hole he made, which is 20 by 20 by 20. Like it's enormous. This gigantic hole he just carved out, leaving you guys there. Like you're on the surface. He just jumped out.
How far down does it look?
20 feet, because he burrowed down 20 feet, and then it opens up. Like literally, there's 20 feet of rock, and then you see there's like just nothing behind it. Like you don't know how far from the 20 feet of rock you would drop.
I'll activate the jetpack and jump down.
Okay, you guys see that happen?
I gotta know what this is.
Yeah, I'm gonna wind up going down the hole.
How are you getting down?
That is a really good question.
Okay, while you're thinking of that, is anyone else going down? And if so, how are you doing it?
I am not sure how long my wings will last. So, seems a little iffier for me.
Do you only use the wings once a day or something?
I see.
I mean, it's possible that that's the case.
So we can see the bottom.
You can see it's 20 feet down through solid stone for 20 feet, and then it opens up into a cavern. The cavern, you have dark vision, right? And so does
I believe so.
Does everybody here have dark vision? Like, does Vesk have dark vision too?
I have low light vision, so
Low light vision,
probably.
You can all see that it's 20 feet through solid rock, and then like 80 feet to the actual bottom of it, because you actually see him descend, and land.
Yeah, I can probably get that far then. I don't know how much weight I can carry with me, though.
You probably can't carry Vesk.
No.
I can probably climb down using athletics, though.
Yeah, we'll have an 80-foot drop to the ground.
Let's see. I'm going through my list of stuff.
How much can I... Okay. How much weight can I carry without becoming encumbered?
I mean, it's basically your jetpack is the thing you have to be worried about, right?
Yes,
right.
And I can't use the jetpack if I'm encumbered.
I'm going to propose something dumb.
I mean, I kind of assumed earlier that I could grab. I
let that happen because it was cool.
Yeah, I kind of figured I could grab Urel. I am extremely strong. But yes, I'm not. I am not able to fly if I'm encumbered.
Well,
I am.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
I'm going to grab Vakesh and then I'm going to leap in and use gravity tether to bounce us back 5 feet before we splatter on the ground, so that we basically buoy up, taking all of the
like you're bungeeing.
Like we're bungeeing, so then we can just go down there. It'll take me a level 3 spell slot, but I think it's worth it.
Okay. Do you go along with this, Vesk?
I don't give him a choice.
Okay. He can attempt to avoid you, but he's down for it. So whatever. Yeah. I don't think there's any roll you need to make for this, right? You spend the spell. And
no, because I'm not actually attacking anything, so I just expend the spell slot, and I'm just going to manipulate the electromagnetic field to sort of repel us instead of taking splat damage.
Okay. Yeah. You drop down. I'll tell you right up front, it would be 40 points of damage if you hit the ground. But you successfully invert electromagnetic forces. You effectively create like a hovercraft lift pad that you fall through, and you get. It's like in Final Fantasy with the one with lightning, where they snap and then they jump and then they just kind of stop. It's like that. You just and then you just walk out. You're just down on the ground.
Gazelle looks over and she's like, "That is so neat. I have never. I wish I could do that."
And,
again.
That leaves the other two to just fly down in their various ways. When you get down there, you see that your 20-something foot tall, somewhat Vosk, somewhat winged thing is looking at a doorway that has been smashed open. And
that doesn't look good.
coming out of it is something that looks like a gigantic rhinoceros beetle. It's as big as he is in this form, and it snorts, and when it snorts, it's drift coming out of it. It's like the drift plane. It's like it eats drift. Is the best you can get. Like it's like ingested it, and it's leaking out of everything. It's like it's warped in all sorts of ways. And now we're going to keep using those initiatives we rolled before, because it's attacking. And he didn't get to tell you his name, but his name's Obsaron. Obsaron goes first, so he will attack with his gigantic purple laser sword. You see him come forward and swing that blade, and you think he's going to cut this thing in half. But when it hits the thing, it's like it's passing through it. Like the thing it's there, it's physical, but it's the wrong physical. It's like it's made out of the wrong kind of matter. Not antimatter, non-baryonic. It's like attacking something that your kind of material composition just does not work with this, and so he doesn't do nearly as much damage as you think he would do. It's a glancing blow at best. He then kicks out with his foot, and the foot smashes directly into the thing's side, but it doesn't push it back very much. It doesn't hurt nearly as much as it should have. And for his final thing, he does some kind of gesture around his hand that you don't know what that was. It was some kind of spell or something. Next up is Tick Tick.
He's going to start by warping reality.
Okay.
It's 15-foot radius burst centered. I'm within 100 feet of it, right?
Oh, easily. You're like 40 feet away from it at most.
So we'll make sure the thing is included and as many of the rest of us as possible.
I would say you could probably get yourself. I mean, you can get Obsaron, the creature, yourself, and Vesk. Jarl and Tash are all both a little bit too far away to get in that sphere.
Okay, just to see if that helps at all. Let's see.
So what does your ability do?
It allows some other things to be cast. It's really kind of vague in the playtest document, though. So
all right, but what is this void magic or the drift energy that you pulling through? It's
kind of drift energy, yeah. So
he eats it.
Just flat up eats it. So it
yes, he literally opens his mouth and eats it. Like I told you, he eats drift. He's like,
okay, well, we know what that does now.
He managed to eat it. If he had not successfully made that roll, he would have missed, which would be really embarrassing. You're trying to bite something and you miss, but no, he got it in there. As that happens, his form warps, and like instead of having a horn like a rhinoceros beetle, it's like it suddenly bifurcates into moose horns, but made out of the same weird chitinous material. But that's one of your actions. You have two. You can do move. You can do another action. You cast a spell. It takes
that one actually I'm supposed to be able to do when I roll initiative, but since we didn't roll it for
Just
This
consider
one
it.
probably
This is
would
your
take
initiative. Yeah.
Okay.
But here's a question:
Mhm.
How many actions does it take to cast? Just one or two? Or any?
Normally it's one, but with my feet, it's instantaneous.
Okay, so you still have 2 actions then, because you came down here.
Yes.
That was move. You did that, which was instantaneous. So now you have 2 actions left. What are you
Yeah.
doing with them?
Okay. The only other thing I really have is the seeker rifle, which also is void energy, but I'm gonna have to try it anyway.
Okay.
So where's my? There we go. 30 to hit,
Okay, that's going to hit.
3 piercing, and 3 void.
Okay, takes the piercing, no problem. Let's see what happens. Ooh,
He
okay.
takes it as in it damages him, or
Yeah, the piercing damage straight up
Okay.
damages him. The void doesn't damage him, but it does cause instability.
Okay.
Everybody, well, I'm just going to say that Vesk and Tick Tick and Obseron are all close enough. His hide forms gigantic, lumpy, greenish tumors that explode, and it clearly hurts it quite a bit. But you guys also need to make reflex saves to avoid the discharge. And yeah, I'm just out of a Dark Souls thing.
31.
31, yeah, you succeed.
15.
You do not succeed. Obseron, I guess I'll roll for Obseron, sure, why not?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Obseron's
I'm
fine.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Obseron's fine. Tick Tick is fine. Vesk, you take 6 points of chaos damage, which is not a thing. It's just that it's acid.
Sure.
You take 6 points of acid damage, and you can see the color blonde. And you also know what blonde is. Nobody else does, but you know what it is, and you can see it.
Oh.
So that was Tick Tick's go. Are you done with the actions, or is that it? Or do you have another one? You moved, shot, and then what? Because the other thing was instant.
What are we allowed to do in a single turn?
You could attack
this
again.
edition?
You get 3 action
So-
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
so we do
you
the
can
same.
move 3 times. You could attack 3 times.
Mhm.
You could move, attack, move. You could attack, move, attack. As long as it's not a spell that takes up 2 actions, which some spells do.
Yeah.
You can do 3 things.
Okay, let's see. I think I will go with an analyze target, which I probably should have done before. You focus on the target, gathering data as magical holograms display information. Learn biometric information, medical conditions, and other basic physiological information. I gain some circumstance bonus to impersonate it. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay. I think impersonating it would be really hard because it is basically
Yeah.
like a bug the size of a dinosaur. Really.
Yeah,
It's
so
really big.
basic physiological. I'm hoping that means like whether it's weak to any sorts of attacks or
It is.
or has any like weak points in its physical structure.
It has a kind of natural spear it can grow and throw off of its body,
Mhm.
or it can even use it like a long spear. The stuff on its head, essentially.
Okay.
If it takes damage, piercing or slashing damage, it can try to twist to avoid the damage. And when it does that properly, you are hitting the scales off of its like bug form, and it's like it sheds chitin and keeps going. It doesn't take damage, but it does lose armor class.
Okay.
So you can
Hit
if
it
you
with
keep
everything
pegging-
you got.
Yeah, if you can basically you can whittle it down to a degree.
Mhm. Okay. She will share that information, and I'll call that my turn.
Okay. Next up is Vesk.
All right. So what we didn't see earlier is on his big machine gun, because he's carrying that and the rifle. He has an entropic destabilizer attached to it. So as he lines up his shot, there is this thing that is attached to his machine gun that tendrils of dark energy soar from the unit and kind of wrap around the end of the gun, turning it into a dark purple. And as it fires out. It makes the shots also do normal piercing damage and they do void damage.
Okay.
It says, unlike normal void damage, the void damage is from an entropic destabilizer, and it damages objects, constructs, and the like by eroding them.
Okay.
It was a very expensive purchase.
Well, go ahead and make that attack roll.
26.
That'll hit.
So it would take 6 piercing and 3 of the void.
Okay, it takes the 6 piercing, but instead of just taking 3 of the void with Nancy Dancy table. Okay. It grows, and there's a splitting sound. You can see its chitin literally pushing to the sides. Multiple chunks of it fall off, reducing its armor class. And it doesn't scream or squeal because it's an insect. It doesn't really have the proper mechanism to make much sound. It's like a hissing noise, but not even like a hiss, more like steam escaping a boiler. You definitely think that hurt. It did not hurt the way you intended. It's like you forced it to grow a size and like basically popped all of his loose scales off. So yeah, that definitely wasn't something it enjoyed, but it didn't die from it.
That's fine. I'm shooting it again.
Okay.
22.
22 will now hit. Yep.
It will hit or will not? I'm sorry.
It will. It will hit.
Okay.
Its armor class is lower than it was.
2 piercing, 3 void.
Okay. It turns to glass, like Viridian type glass, like the really hard, like obsidian kind of glass, but the stuff is red. It's like volcanic glass. It turns into that. It takes the piercing damage and then just turns into glass.
Okay. And then I'm going to fire at it again.
Okay.
31.
Okay. 31 will still hit because even though its armor class was reduced, the glass skin actually gives it plus 10 armor class, but 31 will still hit.
It takes 6 piercing, and that was a crit, and 1 void.
Okay, the glass explodes off of it, revealing the original shape of the creature. Its skin is all tacky and is growing new scales and such as it erupts. It does take a lot of damage from this. Again, the creature is surprisingly not dead, but it is taking a beating here. The Vasquez seriously smashed this thing around with those void bullets. Basically, they're just having weird random effects that so far I've heard it every time. Not all the random effects hurt, but those 3 did. So yeah, that's it for you, right? That's 3 actions?
That's my 3.
Okay, then after Vesk is Jarl.
Cool. I'm going to use an ability or a spell called Soul Surge. I'm going to use my own vitality to deal spirit damage to this thing.
Okay.
So first I have to roll to hit.
Okay. Current roll is a 21.
Okay, well, I got a 29, so I hit.
You hit.
Okay, so let's do me some damage. Sorry. Figuring out where everything is a pain. All right, that's going to be 23 spirit damage, and it's going to get the Drained 1 condition, which means its maximum hit points are reduced by 1 for every level that the creature is.
Okay. All right. It's still up, but it really hated that. And as you're watching, it looks like the spirit energy kind of pulses and causes more of those weird sore things to erupt. But at this time, they're erupting at the backside, so nobody gets hit. Well, I should roll to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I won't. Yeah, no, nobody gets hit this round.
I take damage because that is part of the bargain with this.
Okay.
So that is done. And then
does that count as damage it's inflicted on you or damage you inflicted?
Me. Damage I inflicted on me. And then I will reach over to I'm pretty sure I'm standing next to Vesk at this point. I'm just going to reach over, slap him on the back, and give cellular stimulant, which is essentially a 1-turn haste. So on your next turn, you will get a burst of energy. You get the quickened condition and can use an extra action to stride or strike. After that round ends, the target becomes fatigued until it rests. So you get an additional
that's
1.
4 that round.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, or is that all your abilities?
That's it. I'm done.
Okay, then we are up to Tesh.
Oh, me. Okay.
Sorry, I abbreviated your name really badly, and I have to scroll up to see it.
I was just thinking, okay, who's that an abbreviate? Oh, it's me. Okay.
Yeah, it should be Taze.
How large is this creature? What would its size be?
It would be huge.
Huge.
Another way
That's
to put it is it's 35 by 35 feet. Oh wait, no, it's back down to 20 by 20, so it's just large.
It's just large.
It was huge before, but now it got shot up to huge, and then it got shrunken down to large when the glass skin got blasted off of it. So yeah, it's large. It's 20 by 20.
Okay, so I can draw my solar weapon as part of the attune action, which I can use automatically when I roll initiative. So I'm going to assume I pulled out my polearm, jumped down as an action.
Gotcha.
And then I should have 2 actions left. How far am I from this thing?
You jump down?
Yeah,
you're falling at falling rate, you're not moving yourself. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, okay. So that was not an action.
You will basically land on the thing unless you just really roll terrible on this attack. You will be landing on it and hitting it with your weapon if you hit it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I want to run for it and hit it.
Okay, you're like literally.
I mean, I
down.
assume the movement is an action, and then the attack's an action.
You said you were going. You did not tell me you were traveled down before now.
Oh,
as far as I knew, you were up there. So in my head,
no, Liz was the first one down the hole.
Okay, then you're in the ground.
Yeah,
all right. Then you run in. Yeah, that'll work. You can run in. That will cost you your move, but you can get there easily. And then you make your attack. Yeah. So you will theoretically have another action to move or attack with if you want.
That is a 24 to hit.
It does hit.
Okay. Now I need to find the right dice. Why didn't I do this in advance? Oh my gosh, I rolled 2 1s on my 2d8. Okay, so that is 7 damage.
Okay, damage?
That's bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Hang on. Do something else because I'm photon attuned. I don't think I do. Okay, so 6 bludgeoning damage plus 3 fire damage because I'm photon attuned.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to grapple it because I can grapple things up to 2 sizes larger than myself.
Nice.
Okay. So you're small normally?
I am small.
So you're grappling this large creature. Okay. Go ahead and make a grapple check. Basically, make an attack and use your strength to do it.
Right. I have +1 to grapple things. Shoot, what do I do? It's the dice plus strength, dice plus athletics.
Yes.
That is a 26.
That's really good.
I'm really good at hugging things.
He has the thing called reactive strike. So he is going to now make his athletic check to not let you do that. And he rolls a 30.
Okay.
So that means you didn't get him.
Okay.
But you could have.
But I've still.
You're still there. You're right there in his face.
Yeah. Can I be like on his back and having tried to grapple him, but I'm just kind of there now, hanging on?
Sure. That's
okay.
I mean, I'm never going to say no to something that's cool and then works with what you tried to do. I can just imagine you jumping on his back and grappling. Maybe you successfully grappled, but it's like you can't hold him because you're not on the ground anymore. You're on his back. So you're just hugging him.
Yeah, that's
what's happening.
Never underestimate the power of a good hug, you guys.
And that means it goes around to Obseron. Obseron looks like he's not doing well for some reason. And he looks over at Vesk. Vesk, the sword you found just burst into black flames.
Sweet.
And that's what happens. That's for that attack. And then he's going to look over at Jarl. Jarl, do you have any spell slots you're missing?
Yeah, I'm missing a level 1 and a level 3 because I've used them.
You just got them back.
Okay, then.
And then you got another level 4 spell slot if you have level 4 spells, and if you don't, you still got a level 4 spell slot.
Okay.
Do you have any level 4 spells?
Nope.
Okay. Pick one. You just got it. It can be anything. It literally comes to you from the infinity itself. You can take your time. Your turn's not up yet. For his final action, he is going to reach over to Taj. Okay. He has cast... You are now a large Skittermander. Add
so I'm
double your.
large.
You have basically double your normal strength bonus, and you have 40 temporary hit points, and your athletics gets essentially a +8 bonus every time you make an athletics check.
So now there's this bug, and there's a large lavender fluffy thing hanging onto its back.
Yeah.
holding a pole arm made of star stuff.
Yeah, in the moment that he does this, for a moment, like you can feel through him the balance of forces that makes the universe possible. Like you can feel the stars and gravity, but also all the things that are not normal matter, all the non-baryonic matter, all the things, the forces that keep the universe from expanding as fast as it could, that keep it contained. They're there too. And beyond them, the drift, which is outside of this universe, but is still a part of creation. It's a part of the cosmos. It's a thing that the existence swims in. And you can feel that. And you feel everything for just a moment. And then you're back more or less yourself, except you're, like large.
Whoa.
And when he does those three things, you can actually tell he's like, he puts his blade down, like point down on the ground. He is dying either way. Like when he didn't kill himself, he still started dying. To breach this place, somebody has to die. And that's why he seems so disturbed that they got out, because who died? And then that's his go. The creature is now going to attempt to influence somebody's mind. So random roll. Jarl, he's going to try to control your mind.
Of course.
Okay. You need to make a 20 will save.
Well, I rolled a 30, so 17 plus 13.
So 30. Okay. Now I need you to make another will save, but
wait, you said saving. I needed to make a 20? Hold on.
Listen.
Okay.
You made the roll by over 10, essentially.
Yes.
A 10 a roll, yes. So now I need you to do the exact same roll, but this time you're opposed willing on him. So
22.
21. You now have control of his mind.
What?
In fact, you have pushed his mind out of his body, and you are now in control of it.
Okay, that's the thing that happened.
You're also in control of your own body.
This is weird. Okay.
When you do this, you feel that there are many, many more things attempting to come through that smashed-in gate, and they will be here in one round.
Okay.
You now have his round to act. You have 2 actions for his round.
Turning in place is not an action, so I'm going to turn around, I guess.
Okay.
And what can this thing do, I guess?
It can do various random things whenever it's hit by void. It can charge and attack in melee, which is quite impressive on its part. It's got a plus 15 on its attack rolls. It can regrow 20 hit points a round. You can use its scales as a weapon, or it can just trample things. And it can create venom, mind venom, that poisons people's minds. It's not physical. It's like pure void that poisons people's thoughts.
Can I charge this thing into the archway to try to collapse the doorway?
You can certainly try to do that, yes.
Why not? Let's go for it. What's the worst that happens? I smash this thing into the wall?
I'm on top of its back.
Well, I'm sorry.
I would not care. I would not care.
Just letting you know.
I'm just telling you. That's all.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll with plus 15 on the attack roll. If you hit the wall, you will roll 6d20 to determine damage to the wall. It's really good against
you said it's plus 15?
Plus 15, yep.
31.
Okay, you definitely hit the... there's 2 sides to the doorway. There's like a right and a left. You know how doors work. The door itself has been smashed open. Like it was banging itself against this thing to pop it open, and it did just as you can. So now you're going in the opposite direction. You're trying to hit the lintel to knock the whole thing down, right?
Yes.
Okay, roll 6d20.
6d20?
Yep, or just roll 1d20 and multiply it by 6. Whatever you'd find easier.
No, this is pretty easy to do it. 84.
Okay, there's a shearing noise, but it doesn't collapse. This is a very strong gate.
Second action, do the same thing?
Okay. Are you hitting the same one or the other side?
Guess the other side? You might want to get out, Liz.
It's not my turn. Right? It's not my turn. I don't...
21? 22. 22.
Okay, that doesn't hit.
That doesn't hit the door?
No. There's a weird extra dimensionality about this structure.
Okay.
You feel, but you feel also possibly the fact that you just slammed this thing's head really hard into unyielding material and did damage to it, means you also did damage to everything inside that head, which isn't that great to begin with, quite frankly. So yeah, you're not, you're kind of reeling a little bit when you are it. As yourself, you're fine.
Okay, this will make what I want to do for Jarl's turn a lot easier.
Okay, Tick Tick, you're up.
So has Jarl let us know what's going on, that he's in control of this thing?
You could probably figure it out by the fact that you saw it turn and smash into the gate, that something's up, but you don't know specifically that Jarl's the one doing it.
I don't know that Jarl would understand exactly what's going on quite yet, just that, he had this thought, it did the thing, and it's like, okay, well, that's weird.
Right now, you can sense between the 2 points of view at the same time. You know you're you, and you also know that you're it. The harvester of the drift, the eater of minds, the spawn monster. All these names coming to you.
All right, I think at that point, then Jarl's just gibbering about "I am it. It is me. I am it. It is me."
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Hurry! Obserion's like, it must be killed. The gateway must be closed.
Okay, I am going to supercharge my weapon.
Okay.
And let's see what this roll is about here. Okay, so we will fire the Seeker rifle. 29 to hit.
29?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think, 29 will hit. Yeah. For a second, I thought Joe said 29, but no, Joe said 21.
Oh, so that's 2 piercing for normal, and then another 1 piercing for the supercharge, because apparently I can't roll for being. And then we have...
Are you shooting the creature, or are you shooting the gateway?
The gateway, yeah. Okay. So, not great, but... And then, another 1 damage, 1 void damage.
Okay. You do blow some chunks out of the gateway. Void does nothing to it.
Yeah.
In fact, you think you might have actually healed it a little bit.
Mm.
So you did 4 piercing and 1 void, so you ended up doing 3 piercing.
Yeah, that's fun. Too bad I don't have many damaged range spells. Okay, and I think that was 2 actions.
The supercharging in action and then firing is an action?
I think so, but let me double check.
Well, you either have one
supercharging is 2, actually. So
it's 2 actions to supercharge and 1 action to fire? Or do you get to fire on the supercharge?
It does not specify.
We're going to assume for the moment that you don't get to fire on the supercharge, so that's your go. And I will look that up later and try and make sure. And if I've cheated you, I can only apologize.
No worries.
But you see Tick Tick pull out that gun and do something to it and fire what looked like a really effective shot, but unfortunately the voidiness just seems to go into it. But now, Vesk, you're standing there. You've got your giant gun. You've got a big flaming sword on your back. You've got a smaller gun, but it's still a pretty big gun. What do you do?
I'm going to use my first of 4 to interact, which is flipping the machine gun on the sling around to his back and pulling out the, not the sword, because we're attacking the archway, but his laser rifle, his artillery laser.
Make a straight up roll against your intellect bonus. Add your intellect bonus, and let me know what you got.
6.
The sword is going to work.
Oh, okay.
He wouldn't have put himself in that position. You know him. You don't know him at all, but he's a Vosk. A Vosk is not going to sell his life and give you something that's not going to work. That would be dishonorable.
That's true. Okay, then drawing the sword instead of the laser rifle.
Okay.
Then I will have to spend my second movement to move.
No, you don't.
No?
No. In fact, as soon as you draw the sword, it does the thing it did when he blasted through 20 feet of rock upstairs and blasts forth from your blade this time. Make an attack roll.
Let's see here. I don't have a stat block for this thing, so...
Add 20 to the roll.
Oh, okay. 32.
You hit. You do 32 points of damage with that blast.
Very nice.
Yep.
I have 2 more attacks.
That's correct.
Well, we'll do that again. 29?
29 hits. You do 29 points of damage.
And 37.
You do 37 points of damage. This gateway is hanging on by a thread.
Take it down!
Jarl, you're up. And as you're up, those things from before are now coming towards the gateway. From the creature's eyes, you can see them.
Cool. Well, Jarl is going to cast his now level 4 spell, because why not? I have it. I might as well use it. For Weight of Ages. I am going to burden the target with the pain and mental damage of eons of essentially pain and wear and tear.
Did we skip over me, or is this just back to the creature?
No, you're last. You're after Jarl.
Oh.
He gets to use the creature's attack as well.
Does the 27 hit?
Well, what are you casting it on?
The creature.
Oh, yeah, you're going to hit him.
All right. Not enough to be a crit, though, right?
Normally, his normal armor ability is 35. It's down because he's taken a lot of damage. His scales have been peeled off of him. It's just a much lower armor class.
Cool. He's going to take 30 points of mental damage as he relives just a lifetime of horror, pain, and misery.
Okay. Do you stay linked or do you drop the link?
Oh, I drop that link the minute I feel it connect.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. You'd still take 1 point of damage just because you were connected when it started, but he takes the other 29. You said 30, right?
30, yeah.
Yeah, he takes 29, you take 1. He doesn't die, but it definitely hurts him. He's like, if you feel like both him and the gate are on the ropes.
Okay, well, I have one more.
That's a spell that takes 2 to cast.
By the way, Vess, could you take your 4th attack?
Yeah, he attacked 3 times.
No, yeah, I attacked 3 times, and then I swapped weapons.
Just draw the sword.
Okay. I will. Sorry. When I see Vesk start to crash, I will use. What is this called? I have one ability that allows me to eliminate a status effect. I don't remember what the hell it's called, but I'm going to cast it. So
that's fine. You basically prevent him from going into the
crash state. Yeah.
All right, cool. You feel another surge come over you. It doesn't. Oh, go ahead.
And this thing's encumbered, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. It was encumbered anyway because there's a large Skittermander on its back. Speaking of, Tizelle, you are on this thing's back. It is no longer being able to see very effectively. It looks like it's on its last legs, and there's a gigantic horde of monsters trying to come through the almost collapsed gate. You're up.
I'm going to cast Supernova. And essentially there is a massive solar explosion centered on me. How big is this gateway? How far am I from the gate?
You are like literally under it. The creature on you're on its back. It's slammed into the side. You're like the lintel is above your head.
Okay, this has a 15-foot radius.
I'm going to
try to. Yeah.
It'll get the gate. It'll get the creature, and no, he fired it. He didn't run up. Yeah, nobody else is in range except this Obseron, but he looks like he's going to die any second now. And as you're considering this, and you look over at him, he does the slight nod thing, like do it.
So each affected creature takes. How does this work? It is a DC 21 fort save.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't make it. Gate doesn't make it. First 10 of the creatures that are actually slightly in range don't make it. Okay. Nobody made it.
Nobody made it? Everyone's failed?
Everyone who is in range of it, yeah. I mean, it doesn't hit any of your people. I'm assuming it doesn't hit you either.
It does not hit me. So everyone who failed is blinded for 1 round.
Okay.
And takes 6d8 fire damage.
Okay, roll that 68.
Nice.
23 points of fire damage.
Okay, describe what happens when you kill both the gate and the spawning monster at the same go.
So she is this huge, kind of frustrated Skittermander. She did not expect any of this, and she is just kind of goes, "Rah!" And as she shouts, sparkling nimbus of energy glows around her brighter and brighter, and then just explodes, and it's just pure white for just a fraction of a second. And then it's just her And I'm going to assume I try at this point to hop off its back before I am crushed by this collapsing doorway.
Well, its back is gone.
Okay.
Like you basically blew a gigantic hole in it. Also, you're not large anymore.
Okay.
Because what happened was you did double the damage you thought you did. Because
Okay.
you used up Absaron's blessing to do this. Otherwise, he wouldn't have died. He actually had 50 points. But you used up his blessing and blow him the heck up. And then you find yourself doing cartwheels as you dance your way out of the falling rocks, as the entire gateway and the ceiling above it and everything just drops on the things. You also killed a bunch of them with the explosion. So
a 6-armed cartwheel must be something to see.
Yeah, and as this is all settling down, you guys feel like the blessings he gave you fading away. You can also tell he's fading away, and he's standing there, kind of like on one knee, just holding himself up with his sword, going, "I have discharged my watch. You must return to those who sent you." And he literally lets go of the sword. The sword falls onto the symbol on the ground, and from it, I would assume only Tick Tick really senses this, but a giant gateway into the drift opens.
Oh.
And then he literally just falls back, and he's turning into like stone dust even as he falls back. And his sword goes with him because it is, it's a creation of him. Also, the sword you have isn't on fire anymore, but it's like new looking now.
Okay. Vikesh salutes him as this happens.
If I see that gateway to the drift, I'm literally making a hell break for it because we can get back home through there.
Yes.
And
anyone
I
else
can
doing anything else in
that.
this room before that?
Is there anything
any
else
kind
of
of writing?
interest in here? Yeah.
Okay. Because we're near the end, I will just say that yes, after about 5 minutes of searching, both you and Tick Tick find books. The book Tick Tick finds is bound in black with iconographic symbols on it and a strange 6-pointed lock mechanism. The book you find is gold and otherwise an exact copy. There are all these strange shapes, I
knew it. I knew this was the mummy.
Yeah. So yeah, you both find these books. One of them is talks about the void and the drift and how those forces interact, and the other one talks about the cosmos and gravity and gravitation and the atomic forces and how all of that helps to tie in the existence and so forth. You each get one of these books. That's basically it, though. And as you step through the drift, that's the end of this game because we're done with the opening of whatever this is. If we ever play it for fun, we can continue it. But that's it for this session. That's where it ends.
Yay.
Right.
Awesome.
Post-mortem, did you guys have fun?
I did decidedly
That
little
was tons of
doctoring.
fun.
Pretty good.
Yeah, no, you didn't do a lot of
I got a
doctoring.
little
But
lost in the system, but
you did heal.
Listen, I mean, preventing damage by murdering things is also kind of the same.
I mean, how did Morton Solis say it? There's lots of ways to help. Cure patients, murder criminals. Either way helps.
I did exactly what I was designed to do, and that was shoot things really good.
Yes, I was very happy that you guys got there. I was really happy you didn't fight Absaron. I mean, I thought it was very likely you were going to fight Absaron.
I thought that would be a very difficult fight if that happened.
Oh, it would have been very hard.
I'm glad I rolled high.
No, you got the.
I am glad you rolled high too.
It's one of those things where you get a roll, so a lot of times our characters know things we don't. So, but yeah, thanks you guys for all being here. I hope you had fun, and if you guys listening to this recording, I hope you had fun because that was the point of us doing this. That's Starfinder 2e with a little bit of Starfinder 1e at the beginning because the spaceship rules don't exist. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. You guys had fun, I hope. If you have anything else you want to say before we go.
It was a good time, Matt. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
no problem.
I hope they add a little more detail to the witch warper skills.
I think they need to add more detail to everything. Like straight up, everything needs to be more detail. And quite frankly, I think they need to put the basic rules in the game. You can't just assume people have the Pathfinder rulebook.
Right now the Starfinder playtest document is kind of sparse. It's kind of like a character creation guide.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't have any of the secondary rules.
Yeah, but they're also assuming that you have the free version of the Pathfinder book downloaded as well.
Yeah, which they absolutely, it's understandable that they do that. But when this
Yeah,
comes out,
then-
I hope that it actually has the rules in it and not just that.
Yeah.
All right.
Blizzard Watch is made possible due to the generous contributions at patreon.com/blizzardwatch. Your continued support means that this podcast site and community is able to thrive and grow. Blizzard Watch supporters enjoy exclusive benefits like early access to our podcast, a better chance at having your questions answered on our podcast with a queue, and an ads-free site experience. Please join us next time